Tesla has been deploying a strategic masterpiece for the better part of a year. This strategy has been subject to a lot of doubt and criticism, especially as Tesla's stock has underperformed the broader markets, and Elon Musk continues to piss everyone off on X, but many are missing the bigger picture. I've been following the electric vehicle space semi-religiously, very religiously for over a decade. During that time, I've seen the public sentiment shift from having no idea that EVs were a thing, to having doubts that the technology would ever be a success, to an electric vehicle becoming the best-selling car in the world in 2023, the Tesla Model Y. In this time, many competitors have attempted to join in with varying degrees of success. You have legacy automakers like GM, Ford, Volkswagen entering the market by leaning on their decades of manufacturing expertise building gas cars. You also have newcomers like Lucid and Rivian using the same playbook as Tesla, deciding to start an electric vehicle company from scratch. As more players have entered the fray, EV adoption has soared exponentially, going from 1% of all new car sales globally in 2017 to 13% in 2022. That's a 13 times growth in 5 years. And the growth isn't stopping, with many experts thinking EVs will cross the 50% threshold in new cars sold sometime between 2028 and 2030. Many signs are pointing to this being the case, especially as Tesla continues on its path to sell 20 million cars annually by 2030, which I will admit appears to be an increasingly ambitious target as time goes on, in addition to Chinese car companies continuing their frantic pace of building EVs. However, as competition heats up and more people consider an electric vehicle for their next purchase, Tesla is finally beginning to implement a strategy that has been in the works since the founding of the company. Here's the company's mission statement, which has largely remained the same since its founding: accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy, with the key word here being accelerating. Much has been made lately about Tesla's decisions to dramatically cut pricing on their vehicles. At the start of 2023, Tesla dropped prices across its entire lineup by as much as 20%. This allows the Model Y, a car that starts at $43,000 in the US as of today, to become the best-selling car in the world by volume and revenue in 2023, outselling the Toyota Corolla by 20%, a car that generally costs half as much as the Model Y. Oh, and by the way, the Model Y is 100% electric and sells in a fraction of the markets that the Corolla sells in, which is something that is very easy to dismiss because of how ridiculous it sounds. This move still caused a lot of noise, many saying that this is proof that no one wants EVs, that it will cause Tesla to be unprofitable, and it's a desperate attempt by the company to stay relevant. We've now learned through the company's quarterly earnings that yes, the company did take a hit on its profitability from price decreases, but it was nowhere near the amount some were calling for. Tesla has been able to stay quite profitable due to lower costs as we exited COVID supply chain shocks, increased scale from its newly built Austin and Berlin factories, and extremely high demand for its best-selling high-margin product, the Model Y. Here's the thing though, if we reread Tesla's mission statement, it's clear that this was Tesla's plan all along. Remember the word accelerate from earlier? This is how the company is choosing to accelerate the transition. We live in a time where interest rates are making it tougher for people to finance large purchases. Things like cars and homes have reached all-time high unaffordability as monthly payments become tough to swallow for many. And it's this precise environment that's highlighting why Tesla's strategy is so unique. The usual car market playbook during times like these is to throttle production and focus on maximizing profit for every unit that's sold. Because of higher interest rates, there's going to be less demand for cars than usual, and ensuring production marries demand is important for shareholders to feel like the company isn't losing more money than it should. This means that automakers are willing to forego units sold in preference for more profits per car. Sell less cars than usual, but make sure you're making a lot of money per car. However, because of the short-sighted commitment to profitability, the door has been opened for a company to take market share in droves. And this is where Tesla comes in. Instead of catering to short-sighted profitability, the company has decided to maximize production by lowering pricing so that their factories are running as close to 100% as they can, while balancing supply shortages from both internal battery production and third parties. In other words, Tesla is pricing their products so that they can sell more instead of ensuring they make as much profit as possible. Even if Tesla were to decide in 2024 to adjust their strategy so that they can hone in on more profitability, the company still also very likely to grow its electric vehicle business, while every other legacy car company slowly but surely claw back their loss-leading electric vehicles. We have countless examples from VW, GM, Ford, and others that this is exactly what's happening. Tesla dominates the electric vehicle space when it comes to volume and profit. No one, not even BYD, comes close in this respect, although BYD has shown extremely impressive steps in growing their business. However, profitability is not quite there for that company yet. This means that over time, there will be more Teslas on the road relative to everyone else, especially compared to gas cars. We are already seeing this, given that Model Y is the best-selling car in the world. Again, as crazy as it sounds, an electric vehicle that starts at $43,000 in the US is the best-selling car in the world by 20%. What happens when Tesla's pickup truck, the Cybertruck, is fully ramped? What happens when their $25,000 compact car is launched? Tesla is accelerating the adoption of sustainable energy products by maximizing the number of people that can afford it. It is important to highlight, though, that there is still a large gap in awareness of affordability. Many people have no idea that there are EVs that are affordable to the masses, especially Teslas. I find myself having many discussions with random folks where they had no idea they could purchase a Tesla or any EV for well under $50,000 and well under $40,000 with the federal EV tax credit. However, this is a problem Tesla could solve with some form of education and/or advertising. My gut tells me Tesla will choose to do this once they feel confident their production can keep up with the guaranteed increase in demand once this campaign is underway, if it's needed. It is important to note you can advertise all you want until you are blue in the face, but if your product isn't affordable during difficult times, then the effectiveness of the ads are much less than they could be. However, and this is extremely important, the strategy that Tesla has chosen to drop prices as quickly as possible is necessary to fulfill its long-term profit motives. It may be counterintuitive to think this, but in the case of Tesla, its long-term aspirations are for all their cars to be capable of driving themselves. This reads like science fiction, but I assure you that it's not. Tesla feels that the hardware equation for the car is already solved. The company has claimed the 8-camera system and the onboard computer in its car is capable of making it significantly safer than a human, which will allow regulators to approve the car for level 4 or level 5 autonomy. This basically means that the car is responsible for the driving and Tesla would be liable if anything were to go wrong, which means that the burden is lifted from the human. Teslas are already capable of driving themselves in many situations with the current FSD beta software, but this system is currently limited to level 2, which means that the driver is still responsible to monitor the system as it drives the car. But the key thing here is that all Tesla cars are collecting tons of driving data regardless of the system being on or off. It is this data that will allow Tesla to fulfill its goal of offering level 5 self-driving systems in its lineup. In other words, cars that will fully drive themselves without the need of a steering wheel and pedals. The only missing piece here is software. Tesla needs to get the system to be good enough to achieve level 5, and once it does, the company expects to rake in tens of billions of profits per year in the long term. This is where the magic of price decreases come into play. Tesla's mission may be to accelerate the world to sustainable energy by selling tons of super affordable EVs, but in reality, their mission statement for the car business should really be to cover the earth with data-gathering robots so that our AI brain can teach itself how to drive in every corner of the world so that humans stop dying in car accidents. But let me explain a bit further. For Tesla to solve the self-driving puzzle, it needs a ridiculous amount of video data. Tesla has about 5 million cars on the road today collecting video through its 8-camera system. That data, which includes video, gets sent to Tesla's mothership and is passed through a complex compute system. This system has undergone many changes over the years, and with the company's latest version, it utilizes an advanced AI to teach itself how to drive. But here's the thing, without the video data, that car doesn't learn how to drive itself. For all of us who drive, we know we encounter a quasi-infinite amount of weird things on the road. Missing lane markings, vandalized traffic signs, broken traffic lights, erratic drivers, chairs in the middle of the highway, mattresses, you name it. Most of the world's roads are a chaotic nightmare. For Tesla's self-driving system to operate on all of the world's roads, it needs footage of these things happening so that it can learn how to handle every situation. Now, there are other companies other than Tesla that are taking a different approach to solve this by overfitting their cars with a ton of sensors, as well as mapping the areas where they drive in. Although successful in most situations, the smallest change to a given area can cause the system to malfunction. And it is incredibly expensive to scale as it requires a large amount of upfront costs and human labor to execute. Instead, Tesla's approach is to build a system so smart that any changes to road conditions will be handled by its 8-camera system and its onboard computer. The onboard computer will be able to do this because it has code from Tesla's self-driving AI, which has analyzed a ridiculous amount of video data collected from every Tesla on the road. And this is where Tesla's price cuts are so incredibly important. By maximizing affordability to the masses, Tesla is maximizing the chance of having a Tesla roaming the world's roads, capturing super important video data that is crucial in building a self-driving system that's capable of handling any situation. It is in Tesla's best interest to flood the market with video collecting robots, we can call them electric vehicles for now, as quickly as possible so that it has an outsized advantage when they flip the switch on the self-driving software. This is not well understood. Imagine living in a world where you and your date can hop in your Tesla after having an awesome meal and having more than a few drinks, and the car takes you home in the safety, comfort, and privacy of your car without ever having to worry about being pulled over for drunk driving. Now imagine living in a world where transportation becomes incredibly cheap because A, it's way cheaper to run an electric vehicle versus a gas car, and B, there's no driver to pay. And now, because there's no driver, the utility of the car multiplies since there's no human that needs to rest and or have a life. Now take the profits that Tesla could generate from the above and compare them versus increasing their short-term profits by a few $1,000s by limiting their production and or running campaigns to maximize profit per car. Also compare all of this to what every other automaker is doing. It's pretty different, right? This is Tesla's fundamental advantage as a company. It has built EVs that are loved by the masses, so much so that the best-selling car in the world is its mid-size SUV with limited to no advertising, and it just so happens that the most popular car in the world is also a video gathering robot that's teaching an AI how to drive. The question shouldn't be what happens to Tesla as they keep dropping prices. The question should be what happens when Tesla has enough data to flip the switch for self-driving. It's easy to lose sight of this core strategic advantage when there's so much noise around Tesla, Elon Musk, and the movement to electric vehicles. But taking a step back and analyzing the market for what it is points to quite a clear picture. EVs are growing exponentially. Gas car sales are going down. Tesla is getting close to having self-driving cars. Their AI system drives a car better in 9 months than a system they've been working on for 6 years. And they have yet to ramp a pickup truck or a $25,000 compact car, both of which are targeting market segments that are significantly bigger than the markets they play in today. Always do your own research. Do not take this video as gospel. Never use this video as financial or investing advice. But in the same token, if you follow the company closely, do not miss the forest from the trees. Tesla's execution hinges on their ability to solve for self-driving, using artificial intelligence by leveraging the cars they have on the road. This is a novel problem that requires novel solutions. Time will tell if Tesla's on the right path, but it's hard to ignore the historical precedent that has been set by its leader in solving near impossible missions. The biggest examples being making electric vehicles an aspirational product that is both affordable and profitable, and creating reusable rockets that have completely upended the space industry. There's a reason why never bet against Elon Musk has been coined by many, and although some may think he's lost his touch since buying Twitter, perhaps they are forgetting what disruption looks like. If you found this video of value and would like to see more content on Elon Musk, Tesla, or FSD, consider hitting the subscribe button, and if you found this video interesting, you'll love this deep dive on FSD V12. Thank you so much for watching.